I got my inspection. Also, a couple of other issues, such as the signal over here not working. It turns out, like many things that they forgot to do when putting this thing back together, they forgot to top off the blinker fluid. Yes, even being a 67, this does take blinker fluid. And down in here, I know it's hard to see, but there is a little cap you can open to top off the blinker fluid. So it's just low on this side. Actually, what happened was I had to drive to the place, which was a harrowing adventure. I had to drive about 15 miles to the place to get it inspected, and hitting all the bumps on the road and that jarred it back and made it work again. So that's now working. And another thing I had to do was get the horn working, because that was hit or miss, and you could see the relay right there. I just replaced the existing one, went one wire at a time. It's very simple to hook them up. I could have done it blindfolded, really, so that wasn't a big deal. And I just put it back where it originally was when I got it, which was right there, and that's that. So let me give you a demo of the turn signal and the horn, and I'll show you one other thing that they screwed up, and then maybe we'll take a look at the old horn relay. While the indicator doesn't flash, because I know that's out, you can certainly hear it click. And that's now working up in front here, as it always has. And of course the back as well. And now the horn, when I hit it, it just works. What I have not determined is whether one or both of these horns are firing. I think maybe just this one with the long tube on it is. I really don't know. I haven't tested that yet. And it's too cold, windy, and shitty out for me to play with that now. There were also the two factory horns, one down in there and one right here. No, it looks like he didn't hook that up. So I'll connect that for what it's worth. And I'm not going to test it out now anyway. But look at that. Yep, there's a dent in the license plate. And I don't know if you can tell, it's sort of bent in on the right side. Now, they're never, ever, ever going to own up to that, so I'm not even going to bother going to them, because what are they going to say? Oh, it wasn't us, sir? Oh, there's no way. You've had the car for a week. Even if I noticed it while it was there, they wouldn't do anything. We're sorry, sir. You must have brought it in that way. Some shit like that. You know, it's going to be a losing battle, so it's not even worth my time. But anyway, the horn now works, and the turn signal now works, so that's good. So let me get the old relay. I'm going to tell you the story of the inspection, which was kind of fun, and then we'll open that relay up and see. Well, one other thing I did notice here, besides the horn not being connected, is there is a shiny new hose clamp there. Now, if you can see just past that, that's the original compression connector. So I don't know if they broke that or if it was leaking or what, and they put a hose clamp on it. It's not leaking, so I'll leave well enough alone. But that's a little disconcerting as well. Not to mention, the paint is starting to burn off right by the exhaust manifolds, as you can see. Anywhere right where it connects, where it gets really hot, that's starting to burn off. And of course, they're not going to do a damn about that either. And I could say to them, well, you shouldn't have painted it then, and they're going to say, so it's not even worth my time arguing about that either. So the inspection story basically went like this. I had to drive out over to my dad because he's got a couple of places there that he uses that will, shall we say, just slap the sticker on, if you know what I mean. It's just a safety inspection. There's no emissions test on that because it's over 25 years old. So it's about 15-20 miles out there, so I take the ride out there, everything's fine. And changed the horn relay. We found that the turn signal just magically worked. So we go down to the place. We go to this place down there that my dad used to deal with this guy back in the very early 80s when he had a 78 Dodge Aspen. He used to get his car inspected at the corner station there. So he's known this guy for 30, almost 40 years now, easily. The guy's name is Zeki. He has his own shop now and that. So we go down there to see Zeki. Well, Zeki wasn't in. Instead, he had some other guy who was like, I don't know if he was Israeli or something like that. And I say, we just need a quick inspection. He says, there's no quick inspection. What do you mean? I don't know the car. We have to put it up on the lift, and right now everybody's at lunch. So there's no quick. You're going to have to come back at 3 o'clock and then leave the car and this, that, and the third. Okay, yeah, good, thanks. So we leave, and now we go to this other place that he uses. So we go in there, and it was mostly the same story. Not about the quick inspection bit, but instead everybody was out to lunch. So I went back to my dad's house about a mile back, so no problem. And we go back there, and now I had to make nice for a couple of hours. So I had to sit around and talk about bullshit for 2 hours, wasting my day. This was supposed to be a quick inspection, and that's it. And then I would go home. But no. My day got cocked over. So I had to make nice for a couple hours. Now it's about 3 o'clock, so we head back over there to the second place that we went to, and they remembered that we were there before. And he said, yep, no problem. He had a car in the quote-unquote inspection bay already. Had me just pull right up to that guy's bumper. That way his little scan gun for the barcode in the window would work. And he scanned it and took the time not only to, of course, scrape the old sticker off, but even clean it with alcohol and make it all nice and clean, ready to go. Slapped the new sticker on and said, $10, please. Handed him $10, and I was on my way. So that was nice and simple. Went back to the house. Okay, yeah, blah, 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 blah. All that's done, and now I get to go home. So on the way home, it's already, I don't know, 3:30 or something like that. And right now it's wintertime, and we're really in the shortest days right now, being middle of December. So it started getting dark really fast. And as you know, the car is still misfiring, which is exacerbated when I have the lights on. So I had to put the lights on. So basically what the car was doing is it would drive perfectly fine, no misfires whatsoever, and I could get up to a traffic light, get to a complete stop, and then I'd have anywhere from 2 to 7 seconds where it would idle just perfectly fine with no misfiring whatsoever. It was fine through that time, which could vary, but I always had a couple of seconds at every traffic light that I hit. Plus, it was like, 3:30, 4 o'clock, traffic here on Long Island, fucking forget it. And it was a Friday, and it's getting dark. Come on. And we're almost at Christmas here. It couldn't possibly get any worse than that. So here I am, sitting there, trying to get home, and at every light I came to, after a few seconds, it would start to stumble and misfire. So I sort of had to, step on the brake with my left foot and step on the gas a little with my right foot to keep it from stalling. And that's what I did, getting the whole way home. It was a harrowing experience. I did not take very kindly to that whatsoever. But it's done, and that's the main thing, and I don't have to worry about it for another year. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the old horn relay. So here is the old, filthy, dirty horn relay. This is not original to the car, but I don't know how long it's been on there. Quite some time, probably. There's the stamp on it, if that helps any. And it's very simple. Basically, over here you have your coil, you have your common, your normally closed, and normally open. When you apply 12 volts, it shorts that pin to that pin and turns on whatever you have connected. So solid power goes there, out to the horns. The horn honks when you hit the button on the steering wheel, which energizes the relay coil. You could also hook this up with the normally closed, so it would always stay firing until you hit the button on the steering wheel, at which point the horn would stop. Obviously, not the right application in this case. But I'm going to see if I can crack this open. Another interesting thing I noticed is it has these plastic ears on it, but I can't really tell. It looks like it used to have a tab on it, like the relay I put in. It has like a little plastic tab that sticks out yay far and has a hole in it, and that's what I used on the new one, to put a cable tie through that through the lines to the windshield washer, which is not connected and probably never will be because the pump doesn't work either. Okay, there we are. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot to see here. But this is the coil that gets 12 volts, and this is the armature right here. I'll see if I can get you a close-up of that. You see how when I press it, it moves. When you power this coil, it presses in on it, or sucks it in like that, and connects the other contact, where when you let go, it connects that contact. So that's your normally closed and your normally open, which will close when the coil gets power. Without destroying this or taking it apart any further, I can't really show you anything. I don't know if the camera can see in there, but it looks kind of black in there, where the contact here looks pretty clean. So it was just a shitty relay contact, and I'm sure if I put some sandpaper or something like that in there, I can make this relay work again, but it's not worth the trouble. I'm just going to get rid of it. So at the end of the day, I got my inspection. The left turn signal works and the horn works. We're a couple of steps closer, but still quite a ways from home. Anyway, the next step is to look into rebuilding the carbinator, and I've called the place and they want more than I can get one for, and they don't take it off the car and hang on to the car, fix it, put it back, tune it. You know, they don't, there's nothing really good. So I'm either going to get a remanufactured one, or my dad may have expressed interest. I said may have because nothing is set in stone yet. He may try to rebuild it. He's done a couple in his day. So anyway, that's where the Buick stands right now. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.